Madam Chair, everybody's in from the waiting room.
Great, thank you so much, Monty. Good evening. The time is 6:04 p.m. and it's Tuesday, May 24th, 2022. I'd like to call the Town of Rockport Board of Selectmen's meeting to order. Our new chairman, Ross Brackett, don't be scared that I'm the chairman. Our new chairman, Ross Brackett, had an event at the school this evening. And so he is at that. He'll join us a little bit later this evening. But until then, I'm holding over the fort. And I'd like to turn it over to Selectman Murphy, who's going to do yet another moment of silence. Oh, Paul, I think you're muted.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Monty. Just very quickly and sadly, violence once again reared its ugly head when 14 students in Texas just reported recently, or late this afternoon. Many of you probably haven't heard about it. Were killed. Details are scattered, of course, but it just continues to happen, and our hearts break. And I know it's a long way from Rockport, but I'd like to do a moment of silence in remembrance of all those who passed away at such a young age, and uncensored craziness that's going on. So can please join me in a moment of silence for a couple of seconds. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, moving on to public comment period. Just raise your hand or use the hand raise function. Sorry, Mitch, I think I took the words out of your mouth.
Monty's hosting tonight, so we appreciate it.
Monty.
Go ahead.
Anyone for public comment?
I don't see anybody.
Okay, great. Great, and we'll do another brief public comment at the end. Next, we have, it's 6:06, so I think we can move ahead with, we have a National Grid public hearing. First, I would like to read the notice that was in the paper. Town of Rockport Board of Selectmen public hearing, May 24th, 2022. Zoom meeting link will be available on the posted meeting section of the Town of Rockport website, rockportma.gov. Prior to the hearing, petition of National Grid, 6:05 p.m. Main Street, installation of 2 to 3 inch concrete encased PVC conduit, 1 handhole and all appurtenances at 36 Main Street, posted in the Gloucester Times, 5/18/22. And then I believe we have Elizabeth Cardarelli here from National Grid. Is there a motion to move to open the public hearing?
Yes. I move that the board open the public hearing for National Grid.
Okay, motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. The hearing is open. Good evening, Elizabeth.
There. I do apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties with my computer and I can't seem to get my camera to turn on.
That's
Is
okay,
that-
no worries.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, would you like to tell us a little bit about the project?
Yes, absolutely. So my request for conduit installation is for 36 Main Street. The customer is going to be doing some changes, which requires some upgrade of infrastructure across Main Street. So my request for an installation of 2 3-inch conduit and sidewalk. I appear to be getting some feedback as well. I'm having some issues. I do apologize. Let me see if I can just turn this down. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, so the proposed installation of 2 3-inch concrete encased PVC conduit, 1 handhole which will be placed in the sidewalk, and this will include all appurtenances, including the wire that we will be installing. It will come from an existing manhole on the opposite side of Main Street.
Okay, great. Any questions from the board before we open it up for public comment?
No, I just that everything seems consistent with other documents that we've wanted in the future. Does anything stick out?
I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying everything seems to be in order, correct?
Yes.
No issues on this end, Mr. Chair, Ms. Murphy.
Okay,
And nothing,
my video keeps, my audio keeps going out. I apologize.
just to reemphasize it, so there's nothing different about this particular conduit setup versus others that we have dealt with.
I may respond?
Sure.
Yes, there is nothing different here. The existing conduit that we have in the road that's currently feeding them is not up to the size that we require currently. Our codes have changed, so we would need to upgrade our infrastructure in order to feed this customer appropriately. So this is maintenance on our side of it.
Okay, thank you.
Selectwoman Donnelly, any questions?
Nope.
Okay, great. This is a public hearing, so at this time, do any members of the public have any comments on this? I don't see any. Monty, do you? Okay. Great. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Yes, I move that the board close the public hearing for National Grid.
Great.
Second,
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Is there a motion to approve the plan?
Yes, I move that the board approve Plan 300542041 for National Grid for the installation of 2 3-inch concrete encased PVC conduits, 1 handhold, and all appurtenances at 36 Main Street, subject to all applicable town permit and police detail requirements.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion by the board?
Yeah, I think, Madam Chair, not to be persnickety, but I think we have to do a roll call vote because we're on Zoom. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, sorry.
No, no worries. I just, just wanted to point that.
You're totally right. I'm really rusty, huh?
Hey, you're doing great. I'm taking notes, Sarah, right there.
Further discussion? Hearing none. Selectman Murphy.
Aye.
Selectman Lilia.
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly.
Aye.
Selectwoman Wilkinson. Aye. The motion carries. Thanks so much, Elizabeth. Nice to see you. Nice to not see you, but hear you.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have interview and appointment of Philip Wesley for police sergeant. This is better news than what we've been discussing this evening, so I will turn it over to you, Chief.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to introduce one candidate for promotion to the position of police sergeant, and that is Mr. Philip Wesley, who's here. He is a resident of Rockport and is currently an acting sergeant in our department. Acting Sergeant Wesley is a United States Air Force veteran, having honorably served from 1985 to 1989. Following that service in the military, he worked as a correctional officer with the Essex County Sheriff's Department from 1990 to 1996. And he's been a member of our department since April of 1994, when he joined as a permanent intermittent police officer and then was subsequently appointed as a full-time police officer in 1996. In addition to serving our town as a patrol officer during his 28-year career, he has served in numerous other capacities, including but not limited to the court prosecutor's position, our school resource officer for many, many years, the information technology officer for our department. He's been a longstanding honor guard member. He is our department's designated representative at the Special Olympics Cruiser Convoy, and most recently, as I mentioned, an acting sergeant's position, which he's been in since August of last year. He is a recipient of several Air Force awards for his military service, as well as numerous police department commendations for his contributions to our community. On May 3rd of this year, Acting Sergeant Wesley took a written promotional exam for the position of police sergeant. He achieved a passing score on that exam, and it is my recommendation here this evening that he be appointed to the permanent police sergeant position with our department. Acting Sergeant Wesley is here and eager to speak with the board, so I thank you all for your consideration.
Thank you so much. Welcome. This is so exciting. Acting Sergeant Wesley, would you like to say a few words, and then we can, and then the board can ask questions?
I'm just honored to be here, honored to be, a part of the department now for 28 years. Looking forward to spending many more years here as a sergeant. And, I'm just, like I said, I'm honored to be here.
Great. Questions from the board?
Yes, I have a lot of questions, Phil. I have in all seriousness, I mean this sincerely. I've known Phil since he came to Rockport. He attended our wedding because we lived right next door to each other back in 1990. Oh boy, four.
1994.
Anyways, I hope Mary Beth's on this Zoom meeting. But he's always demonstrated himself with a terrific sense of humor, and the way I've seen him interact, including with my own mother, when the lights went out and the electricity went out, and he came in with some extra oxygen, and I was there, and he has just risen to the occasion on all accounts. He's got a great relationship with kids. When he was resource officer, so I am really I support him 100%, and it's great to see a guy or a woman go through the ranks and after 28 years to become sergeant. So the Rockport Police Department will be lucky to have you. And I don't have any questions, but just a thank you, Phil.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Other comments, questions from Denise?
I just would like to echo, I haven't known you that long because I haven't lived in Rockport that long, but I just want to thank you for your many years of service and all that you've done for the town, and congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Herm.
No, I will simply join in and say that it's, when I say the promotion is something that you have warranted, and I think your good humor is evident and necessary from time to time, and given the opportunity for the responsibilities that you have. Humor can work wonders. So if that's part of your personality, Phil, I don't know you as well as others do, but if that's part of your personality, use it. It's benefited you, I'm sure, in the past, it will benefit you in the future. So welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Herm. So just a really brief story, which is oddly coincidental. But if I remember a few years ago when the chief and the superintendent of schools and I sat down after yet another school shooting, and we discussed, it was like, I think it was a Sunday, right, Chief? And or maybe it was a Friday. And we kind of came to the difficult decision kind of together to pool resources and just make it work to have a school resource officer, which was obviously a big change. And it was, we all knew it was needed, but it was also going to be traumatic for all the kids that had never really seen an officer that much at the school up there. And I remember the superintendent kind of turning to the police chief and saying, this plan is great, but some schools, have an officer that unfortunately when something happens, they run the other way, or some, departments don't have anyone up to the task. And I remember the chief turning around and saying, I have just the officer for us. And it was like no looking back from there, and all because it was you, Phil, to be perfectly honest. And I mean, our kids, because I have two kids in the school, they embraced you, you turned people who were absolutely terrified of having an officer up there, turned it around. And, I see kids, I saw kids high-fiving you and asking for you, and you made that program successful here. And now I know Officer Anderson is following in your footsteps. I saw a post of him playing softball, I think, last week. So like that is because of you, and I feel like you're destined for even greater things here. So I think we're the lucky ones to have you actually take the test and be willing to serve at an even higher level. And thank you to Lieutenant Marino, sorry, for being here this evening as well, and the chief, but this is an exciting time for the department.
Thank you.
So on that note, if there are no other comments, is there a motion? I think it's Selectman Murphy.
Yes, I move that the board appoint Philip Wesley of Salem, Massachusetts, formerly of Salem, Massachusetts, to the position of police sergeant.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Nope, this is just a great appointment and I'm thrilled to be part of it.
I should ask Lieutenant Marino, did you have any comment that you wanted to add?
I just want to congratulate Phil. He represents our department in a very positive light, and he's a mainstay in the community. So I'm glad he's going to be around for the next 7 or 8 years.
Great, Chief.
Maybe
Anything
10.
else you want to add?
No, I think you said, Sarah, that you wanted to thank him for taking the test. I want to thank him for passing the test.
That's something you can say. Great. So without further comment, Selectman Murphy,
Aye.
Selectman Lilia,
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly,
I,
Selectwoman Wilkinson, aye. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations, Phil.
Thanks so much. And thank you guys for joining us tonight, as
Thank
always.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Congrats, Phil. Go home.
Next on the agenda, we have the consent agenda. Selectman Lilia.
Yes, should I first ask whether or not there are any items that members of the Board of Selectmen want to hold?
I have none.
no,
No.
I move that the board approve all non-held items on the consent agenda.
second,
Motion has been made and seconded. Mitch, do you want to just give us a really brief rundown of what's on it this evening?
Certainly, Madam Chair, their approval of minutes, appointment of seasonal workers, the sharing of downtown banners between the Art Association and Rockport Music. They've agreed to split the poll locations, position adjustments, Long Beach lease changes of address for 2 homes down there, the CV license renewal for Bearskin Neck Bistro, cinema license renewal for Little Art Cinema, and a notice of award for us to be able to move forward finally with the town hall roof. Badly in need of a replacement. So this will get us moving for hopefully a late summer replacement project.
Great. Any questions by any members of the board? No. Hearing none. Selectman Murphy? Oop, he disappeared.
Aye.
Aye. Selectman Lilia?
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly? Selectwoman Wilkinson? Aye. The motion carries. Great. Moving on to the action list. I actually have to, I'm currently the Commodore of the Yacht Club, so I recuse myself from all Yacht Club related motions. So I will disappear for just a minute and let Selectman Murphy take over, right?
Correct.
Sure.
All you, Paul.
Okay. We have Selectman Donnelly's going to make the motion about 6 parking spaces on T Wharf for visiting boats at Sandy Bay Yacht Club on August 11th through the 14th. Is anyone here from the Yacht Club who would like to speak on it? Mitch is in terms of paperwork for the office, this is routine, I'm sure.
Yes, we have the materials that we need. This the board has granted this request, I believe, at least twice before.
Twice before, okay.
Yes, so no issues flagged with, they, like I said, this is a somewhat of a recurring request.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Any discussion from the members of the board? Hearing none. Is there a motion?
there is. I move that the board approve the use of 6 parking spaces on T Wharf for visiting boats the Sandy Bay Yacht Club from August 11th through August 14th for their annual regatta.
Okay, we've heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It has been seconded. All those, any further discussion? Nothing? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Selectman Lilia,
Aye.
Selectman Donley,
Aye.
and Selectman Murphy votes aye, and the motion passed. Any abstentions or? So, very good. Thank you.
Back.
Sarah Wilkinson, she reappears.
The Zoom makes it funny to abstain from something. Okay, moving on. We have 2 outdoor display renewals. Let's see. First, actually, they're both in one motion. One is for One Ocean, One Love of 6 Bearskin Neck. The other is for Bean and Leaf Cafe at 12 Bearskin Neck. Would someone like to make the motion?
Sure, I can move that the board approve outdoor display permits for One Ocean, One Love of 6 Bearskin Neck and Bean and Leaf Cafe at 12 Bearskin Neck pursuant to all outdoor display rules and requirements.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Further discussion? I reviewed the applications and both looked fine to me. Anyone have any issues?
Nothing jumped out at me as well.
Great. Okay, hearing no more discussion. Selectman Murphy,
Aye.
Selectman Lilia,
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly,
Aye.
Selectwoman Wilkinson. Aye. Great. Next, we have a 1-day alcohol license for the Rockport Rotary Lobster Fest.
Yes, I move that the board approve a 1-day alcohol license for the Rotary Lobster Fest on August the 13th, 2022.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Further discussion? I went to this event last year. They ran out of beer. So hopefully they're planning on getting, it was a great event, and they do it during the evening of fireworks, and it was like crazy well attended, but they ran out of beer.
It happens.
I hope hopefully it raises them a lot of money. I assume if you run out of beer and the food line's long, that's a good thing, good sign. So.
Revenue.
Yep. Any further comments on this?
Nope.
Okay.
Always a great event.
Yep. Hearing none. Selectman Murphy,
Aye.
Selectman Lilia,
Aye.
Selectman Donnelly,
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly, sorry, and Selectwoman Wilkinson. Aye. Great. Next, we have Firemen Sunday Memorial Parade.
Would you like a motion?
Yes, please.
I move that the board approve the Firemen Sunday Memorial Parade on June 12th, 2022.
Okay.
And Madam
Second.
Chair, if there are questions, the president of the association, Katie Favaloro, and Assistant Fire Chief Watson are on the call.
Oh, great.
I'll second that.
Okay, great. Motion has been made and seconded. Hi, Katie and Mark. Nice to see you guys.
Hi, nice to see you.
Do you want to just tell us a little bit about Fireman Sunday? Just use it as an opportunity for the thousands of people that watch our meetings after.
Sure. So Fireman Sunday is a tradition throughout all of the firemen's community. We celebrate by having a parade from the firehouse to the cemetery, where we have a ceremony, and then we march back to the firehouse.
Great. And it's such a nice, I mean, obviously somber event, but you guys do a beautiful job with it. It's always one of the most striking kind of ceremonies that we do in town, I think. Are there any comments by the board or questions?
I do. Thank you, Katie, for that explanation, and thank you, Assistant Chief Watson. In terms of Fireman Sunday, is that across the country, or is it just the Commonwealth?
I believe it's across the country.
Across, okay. As I was thinking, and do you want the selectmen to participate? I think we've done it in the years past, and sometimes we haven't done it. So.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted to, make sure that you want us there.
Yeah.
And the artwork, are you at the fire station right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Look at that artwork. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Impressive.
Yeah. Impressive, exactly.
It's all the way around the room. You just can't see it.
Yeah, no, they're beautiful pieces.
Great,
So, thank you for all your hard work and we look forward to being part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
great. Any other comments or questions? Herm or Denise?
Yeah, a quick comment. I attended last year. And of course, the Firemen's Association versus the fire department is a distinction that was not necessarily clear cut in my mind. But the Firemen's Association, of course, is a body of people who have served as firemen. And in their retirement, as well as in their active duty, they remain members. So it's very good to see everyone there. There was a large attendance and everyone was shipshape, and it really was an impressive event for the town. So I will attend again and I'll very much look forward to it.
Agree, me as well. Motion has been made and seconded. Selectman Murphy,
Hi,
Selectman Lilia,
All right.
Selectwoman Donnelly,
Hi.
and Selectwoman Wilkinson. Aye, great, so that passes. Next on, we'll keep Katie and Mark on for the July 4th discussion. Why don't we have someone, let's see, are they all different motions?
They're all one motion, Madam Chair.
Oh, okay, so is this Herm, is this
Aye,
you again?
yes.
Yeah, would you like to make the motion and then we can have them discuss again?
Yes.
Great,
I move that the board approve the following related events, related July 4th events. Bake sale at Central Station and Dock Square on June 25th from 9 a.m. to noon. July 4th parade from School Complex to Back Beach. Parking limitations at Back Beach from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. on July 4, 2022 for the bonfire and associated events and activities. Concession vendor permit to be issued to Robert Orlando for July 4, 2022, and other vendors shall require selectmen approval in advance.
great. Is there a second?
Second.
Great, motion has been made and seconded. So would you guys just like to touch on, why don't we just run down them briefly? So obviously the bake sale is to raise money for all the events, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and then do you want to tell us a little bit? I know everyone is very excited to have the parade back. Seems to be one of the #1 questions we're getting. While I'm thinking about it, is it possible for you guys to do just like a little, a PDF or something that we can share online, just with the time? Perfect. Can you just email that to us? And
Yes.
we can share it. Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting it on our Facebook and Instagram page so you can share from there.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah, we can drop it off the box in your box of town hall if you like.
Great. Sorry, can you say that once more?
We can drop a few off in your box at the town hall if you'd like.
That's perfect. Great.
Okay. Yeah.
but if you can email it to all 5 of us on the Board of Selectmen, we can share it out on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
that'd be
That'll
great.
get, and Rockport stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
okay.
awesome.
No pun intended, I didn't mean that.
And then anything new or different with the parade this year? Do you want to just chat a little bit about it?
Nothing's new. We use it as our biggest fundraiser of the year. We pay for student scholarships for high schoolers that are graduating, equipment, and to run the 4th every year. So. Did you go with it? Oh.
Just as a fundraiser.
Oh, yeah. So it's our fundraiser. So we bought donation boxes to hopefully put around town at local shops and stuff when it stays on.
Great. Great.
And yeah, it's the same thing that we've had in the past.
Perfect. That sounds great. Any comments or questions from the board?
Sure, I do, please, thank you, Selectman Wilkinson. How is the, I know fundraising's been slow, it must be because of the pandemic and getting back, but how many bands do you have coming? You know?
So we've only heard back from 3 bands, mostly because we haven't had the approval yet from you guys, so we haven't tried to harp on it too much. But we sent out 6 contracts and we're hoping to hear back from the last. We heard back from the Clown Band per usual, Boston Firemen's Band, and Creganmore, the pipes and drums. And we're waiting to hear back from the Steel Drum Band, the North Shore Pipe Band, and one more band. I think I had put 8, but we only asked 6.
Was there a delay from our office on anything?
I submitted the letter, I think, about a month ago. So with the elections and then the town meeting, it kind of put us behind, but
Okay, good. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was any type of delay.
No,
So,
there's-
thank you all.
no delay from no delay on our
Yeah,
end.
I didn't
Yeah.
think so, but
No.
Any-
Yeah.
anyways, thank you so much. We look forward to a wonderful tradition that is, there's nothing like that, watching the parade come down South Street on a beautiful 4th of July. So we look forward to it. Thank you.
And we're also trying, if you want to put the word out, try to get some neighborhood floats to participate.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in a while, so we're hopefully trying to get the word out for some neighborhood floats to participate.
I remember in the 70s growing up as a kid, we would be in the parade all the time, and it was wonderful. But yeah, sadly over the years, as kids have changed and so forth, neighborhood floats haven't occurred. So I hope that'll change.
Yes.
us too.
Paul, you could lead the charge.
In my retirement term.
Yes.
Great. Okay, any other comments or questions?
Nope.
Hearing none. Selectman Murphy,
Yes, aye, excuse me.
Selectman Lilia,
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly,
Aye.
Selectwoman Wilkinson. Aye, great. Thank you guys so much. Nice to see you both.
All righty, thank you very much.
Thank
Let's hope
you.
for great weather.
Oh, hey, one other thing. Great job to everyone at EMS Day on Sunday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was
Thank
like super well attended. I just a quick aside, my kids were like playing baseball and they were like, oh, we can't come down. And then someone sent them video of you guys using all the equipment to tear the car open. And I went down and I said to actually Herm's son, Jonathan, I said, oh, now my kids are wishing that they came down because they saw like the video of that and then people up on the ladder, but it was really, really cool and well done. So great job.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so that has passed. I think we're good. Next on the agenda. We have Illuminations Night on August 13th, 2022. Is there a motion?
There is, where am I? Right over here. I move that the Board of Selectmen approve Illumination Night. On the August 13th, starting at 9 PM at Granite Pier, subject to all required public safety permits and inspections.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Anyone here from, is it the Colin? No,
I don't think so. I think
that has been a great, how many years? Probably 10? 8 years?
between 5 and 10, right? At this point?
Easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like insanely awesome event and
Yeah.
night.
And I hope one of the, and this goes back to 4th of July, I hope the restaurants, we strongly encourage them to stay open. We've run into situations where restaurants close and the only thing that's open is House of Pizza. And we have all kinds of people in town. So it's a plea, it's not a demand, it's nothing, but if restaurants can stay open for particularly those 2 nights, it would serve the town well and everyone.
Great. No further discussion. Selectman Murphy,
Aye.
Selectman Lilia,
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly,
Aye.
and Selectwoman Wilkinson. Aye. Great. The motion carries. I can text the Collins after the meeting and tell them. Next, we have the Pride and Juneteenth flag at Town Hall. I don't believe we have a motion for this. Mitch, do you want to just explain why this was on our agenda?
Certainly, Madam Chair. The board received a request for the pride flag and the Juneteenth flag to be raised at Town Hall. And there is no current policy relating to flags, so it is brought to the board's attention for your review. Your packet also has some materials that are relevant to this request.
Great. Comments from the board on this?
Uh,
Go ahead. You want to
No,
go?
nope,
first,
no, I'll go last.
Please.
This brings to mind the recent Supreme Court case that again ruling against Boston. And I guess, as much as I'd like to put these flags up, if we do it for these two groups, we have to do it for everyone. And that just seems like I'm not sure I want to go down that road.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that the town, we only have one flagpole in front of Town Hall. So, and our, I guess, kind of unofficial policy, which we probably need to deal with, has always been just to fly the American flag. And our only written policy dealing with it is when it's lowered. Is that right, Mitch?
That's correct.
Yeah, but I think the key is that we only have one flagpole. Herm, did you have a comment on this?
No, I was just going to essentially say the same thing, that because our past practice has been to not show any particular emphasis on anyone's flags or with regard to anyone's flags, that is the policy that we seem to be gravitating towards as we as a board without having voted on it. And I support that policy because otherwise we would be in the need of many or several flagpoles, and it would become, I think, something that is more than what we would like to do as an organization, in as much as we all respect these different groups, but to single them out and to run the risk of not paying adequate attention to any one group is worse than not paying attention to all of them, as we are currently doing it without flag.
Paul, did you have a comment?
No, I concur with everyone's comments and I support obviously the pride flag. I actually fly one at my house in June, and there's no question about that. But if we allow this flag to come, when if someone wants to put something even at some point down the road, I mean, where does it stop? So I think this is to have it, and we have one flagpole, as Sarah correctly pointed out. I think that's the right thing to do. So I think we deny this.
Yeah, and this reminds me of when we I think it was at the beginning of the pandemic, when a group of students, I think they were high school students, came to us and wanted to use town rocks, and they were putting like
I remember
Black
that.
Lives Matters, like, painted them on the rocks, and we're selling them as a fundraiser, and wanted to put some signs on public land. And we explained that, we don't put signs for, for different views on, we just keep it totally neutral. Because actually, like the Supreme Court ruling shows, if we offer space to one, we have to offer space to all. And I remember at the time explaining that, this is a member of, there are 5 members of the Board of Selectmen. We all have our own personal views. People can feel free to, reach out and I always encourage people to reach out to private citizens and businesses and try to, have people, like you said, Paul, you put a pride flag up in June, but everyone obviously has the right to put what they choose up on their own property.
Right.
So, Mitch, should we on another agenda put on just setting a flag policy? Okay.
Yes. Oh, I would recommend that you amend your current policy to include some
Absolutely.
wording on this.
Okay, great. So if you could maybe we could work on a draft of that for a future meeting. But I actually found I had read about it briefly, but it was interesting to see the Supreme Court decision on Boston to really read it in depth and understand it. So I don't think we have a motion regarding this, correct?
No.
Correct. No action needed. This is the
Okay.
board's policy decision.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. Moving on, we have, sorry, too many pages tonight. Next, we have the Welcome to Rockport sign, and it's an exemption for Cape Ann artisans. Is there a motion?
Yes, I have a motion. I move that the selectmen approve the placement of the Cape Ann Artisans Open Studio Tour sign at the Welcome for Rockport sign location pursuant to the board's policy and schedule availability.
Is there a
Second. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Mitch, do you want to just touch on this briefly?
Yes, Madam Chair. So since they're, it is certainly a volunteer group, but they're not from town. So your policy dictates that an exemption from the selectmen is required for it. You have granted it in the past. You have granted it in the past for this group, for this particular event.
Great. The motion has been made and seconded, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and just to comment, I love their weekend that they do their open studio tour. I love driving around and seeing like everything set up in front of the homes and, you know, businesses. It's really cool to me. Sometimes you don't even realize that an artisan lives somewhere, and then all of a sudden this weekend they have all of their goods displayed, and it's really neat. Any other comments on this? No. Okay, Selectman Murphy?
Aye.
Selectman Lilia?
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly?
Aye.
And Selectwoman Wilkinson, aye. Great. Moving on, we have year-end transfer requests, if any.
I think I'm making this motion.
Okay.
Rookie.
What's that?
Rookie mistake.
Thanks for the support. I move that the Board of Selectmen approve and ask the chairperson to sign the following year-end transfer: $4,559.90 from election officer wages to town clerk salary.
I'll second that.
Great. Motion has been made and seconded. Mitch, did you want to comment on this?
Certainly, Madam Chair. So the transfer is necessitated with the previous clerk's retirement. There came also the standard vacation and sick payout when the employee retires or departs service. So we need to move over some funding to cover the current clerk's salary for the rest of the fiscal year.
Great. Any further questions or discussion?
Nope,
Okay,
seems
hearing none.
reasonable and part of the contract, and
Yep.
that's fine.
Great. Selectman Murphy?
Aye.
Selectman Lilia?
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly?
Aye.
Selectwoman Wilkinson, aye. Great, motion carries. Next, we have ARPA Local Fiscal Recovery Fund requests, if any.
None this evening, Madam Chair.
Okay. Next, we have Board of Selectmen and Town Administrator updates, which include FY23 budgets and COVID-19. Mitch?
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the budgets, we are ready to go at this point for FY23. End of 22 is always, there's always a bit of shuffling going on. This year it is particularly tight, particularly for DPW. Normally they'd be able to get a couple of different projects done. That is a bit of a struggle right now because of the significant increases in cost relating to heating oil for the buildings and fuel for the vehicles. So 22 is end of 22 is a little tighter than we'd like. Folks are looking forward to July 1st with the new money. We're ready to go on the accounting end with that. And that covers our 23 budgets. And for COVID, Board of Health is holding a special meeting Thursday evening at 7:30 to discuss the latest status with COVID cases in town. Last week we had 90 cases. We're at 86 this week. We had a fairly significant and sizable jump over the last few weeks in cases. 90 and 86 this week. Those are just the reported PCR tests. That doesn't take into account any of the antigen tests at home. So you can probably triple that number as a rule of thumb on what you really have in town. So they're going to be reviewing that status. It'll be via Zoom. We've granted an exception for this special meeting for them. They were set to be in person for their modality. This one will be Zoom to ensure that there's appropriate ability for the public to view and chime in during the public comment period. And the regular reminder that we give to everybody, we have COVID tests available during business hours from this office, from the selectman's office. We're getting at least a dozen folks a day coming in, which is fantastic. Plenty of tests. We'd encourage folks to please do that. Please stop by. We have them here.
Yeah, and I took a bunch from the office, and I've been handing them out when I visit local businesses, at Little League games, at school events. But, honestly, people are having trouble getting them again. And, I figure the easier we make them for people to get, the better, the more testing there will be.
Mhm.
So, anything else on your end, Mitch?
That's it for the moment, Madam Chair. We're in typical year-end mode right now, getting things closed up and gearing up for the summer season. So, well, actually, I'm sorry, there is one additional note. The park and ride opens this weekend, the CADA Park and Ride. So parking as tradition is free, $1 to take the trolley into town. And also a great addition this season with the opening of the park and ride. We have EV charging stations available in some of the parking spaces at the transfer station. So we're hoping that those get some good use from folks coming into town.
Mitch, what are the hours of operation, Monday through Friday, 11 to 5 or approximately?
I don't have it in front of me, Mr. Murphy. I can certainly make sure that we get that out. I know we shared it through our social media channels last week.
Yeah, I can look, and
It
then
goes
I'll
daily.
Yeah, no, I'm just, but
Off
it's
the
the same.
top of my head, it's weekends for May and most of June. And then July and August, it is 7 days a week, I believe. And then it goes back to weekends only through mid-September, I believe.
Okay, that's good. That'll be hopefully a nice economic boost for the people downtown.
Mitch, just a quick question. Yesterday, I shared on social media the summer hours for the restrooms, which was really so nicely done. It was like an easy share. But someone wrote, "When do these?" It said summer hours. Have those started?
Those have already started. They started
great.
this past weekend. We every year, the custodians, we have to line their shifts up. So now on the weekends, Saturday particularly, they're doubled up. So this allows us to expand the hours throughout. So it is in effect now.
Awesome. So I'll get that shared again with the news. I may do like a Board of
Yes.
Selectmen update after our meeting tonight, since there's
Sure.
kind of a lot of summer stuff to share.
And one note, I know it's a frequent thing on some social media pages in town. The doors at T Wharf are electronically controlled. Occasionally, there's an issue with the locking and unlocking mechanism. And we see some posts come out that, the town is locking us out of the bathrooms. No, sometimes the equipment just has a hard time. If somebody jolts it the wrong way while it's closed, it can affect the mechanism. So if somebody has encounters the bathroom closed when it should be open, we ask that they either, if it's during the week, contact the Public Works Department, or any other time to call the police. We don't always see something on Facebook like that. For immediate service, when all else fails, contact the police department and they can assist.
People seem to reach out to me about that too. Which is fine. I'm happy for people to reach out to me about anything. It's just kind of a funny thing when it happens. So anyway, okay, Selectmen updates. Selectman Murphy?
No, I'm good right now. We're looking forward to the Memorial Day parade. What time do we need to be there? At 9 o'clock?
9:30.
9:30, okay.
Okay, Herm?
Yes, a couple, one's a curiosity. I don't know whether the town administrator can add to my knowledge. I understand that there was a 10-foot fence installed along the Atlantic Path this past weekend. It caused a source of consternation and dismay on the part of the person who reported it to me. Are we making progress towards some sort of accommodation with the owners of the land?
So there's some of that matter that's executive session that I'm not able to discuss now. I can certainly brief you individually on it. We are aware that there is a fence that's put up. A significant portion of the issue relating to the fence is conservation based.
Yes.
So, certainly that piece, nothing we can do on that end at the moment, but any more substantive update would need to be executive session or one-on-one.
That's fine. And then I wanted to thank Chief Horvath. I will say that he is the individual who prompted it to happen. But anyway, the speed evaluation sign, how else do I put it? That is located around town, was located or is still perhaps located at the top of Great Hill. And I think it's just to be commented on in a very positive way that when you come over that rise, you are somewhat in doubt as to what the proper speed limit is. So now it's firmly burned into my brain, and perhaps the rest of the town residents. So it was a very good choice on the part of the chief. I want to congratulate him.
Agree. I'll leave it at that. Agree. Denise?
No, it's my first meeting, so no updates.
Woo, woo. I don't think I have anything. I think Mitch already touched on what I had to touch on, and I will attend. I know we still have to obviously do, I know we still have to maybe redo our liaison assignments, but I will attend Board of Health Thursday night. And others may as well, but I definitely will. Okay.
Going to be a big one.
Okey doke. Anything else? No? Okay. Next we have another public comment. Please raise your hand or use the hand raise function if you'd like. Oh, I see one.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome.
My name's Jai Fields. I don't know where you are on the agenda. I actually just realized I thought I was supposed to be here at 7. But I was the one that wrote the email about the Pride and the Juneteenth flag.
Got it. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. We tonight's meeting has it's actually moved quicker than.
Okay.
It's moved quicker. So we actually discussed it about probably 10 minutes ago, but it's okay. It's all right. You can actually probably by tomorrow, the recording will be up. But does one member of the board does somebody want to give a little summary, or do you want me to give a summary of?
Go for it, Sarah.
You want me to do it? Sure. So basically the town, we only have one flagpole in front of town hall.
Mm-hmm.
And we only fly the American flag from it.
Mm-hmm.
Our policy as of right now only includes like when the flag is lowered, in honor of when someone passes away.
Yeah.
And so, and we also just in our packets, we get packets every week with all of our background information. And because you brought this to our attention, we were sent the Supreme Court ruling on Boston with regards to flags that basically say that as a municipality, if we were to welcome any flag, we have to welcome all flags.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the consensus is we're not comfortable doing that, welcoming all flags. So at this point, we are going to just work to amend our policy for just the American flag. But we did have kind of further discussion, and I don't know if you were at our meeting, maybe not. I think it was during the pandemic, because a group came that wanted to put up, some students wanted to put Black Lives Matter rocks around town and some flags. And while we explained that we don't put, flags or rocks with any views on public property, we always encourage people to reach out, to private citizens or businesses. I remember at the time, actually, several of us selectmen actually ended up purchasing the rocks, which were a fundraiser. I actually still have them in my yard because they were done by students and they were really cool. Selectman Murphy has a flagpole in his yard, and he actually said that he will be flying the Pride flag for June
For years.
Flagpole, which he has for years.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Which is really cool. So that's like the 1 minute version. All of us actually spoke on it, and you're happy to watch the recording. But to be honest, personally, sometimes I wish we had more than one flagpole, but I'm also not comfortable being in the position of having to fly.
understand
flag.
that.
Yeah. So because I just spoke, I'm happy to do. Did you want to make another comment about it?
Was,
This is
yeah,
Steve, by
I'm
the
sorry.
way.
I also live in Rockport.
Welcome.
Steve Hopkins. And so my question is, because it's because it's a state holiday instead of a flag raising, even just a ceremony without the flag raising for Juneteenth might be something that could be organized.
Oh,
We didn't really tackle that. We did the pride flag.
Yeah,
I don't, yeah, I'm sorry, Madam Chairman, continue.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I think that's something that we could have our office look into. I know, other organizations have done ceremonies for certain things. Mitch, is that
Yeah.
something we could look into?
Okay.
Sure, we can certainly take a look at that.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
to look into that.
We'd love to volunteer to be of assistance with that.
I
And
did
anyway.
reach out to the North Shore Juneteenth Association, and they gave me some ideas, and the ceremony from what they laid out would only be like a half hour.
Oh,
from
great.
what-
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Madam Chair, if I may, in the past, we've had organizations reach out, and there's a process to go through the Board of Selectmen's office,
Mhm.
so that the paperwork and so forth, so
Sure.
that
Yeah.
there's a paper trail of everything. So, but I would, considering it's May 24th, I would, reach out there sooner than later and
Yeah.
get it in front of us ASAP.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think it would be something where, we would have to be presented with a plan for
Right.
individuals to do the ceremony. Do you know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
we would look into approving it or not, and
Right.
maybe it could be something different for next year. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It would have to be looked into. But just as an aside, I think I actually met you. Is it Jai? Is that how you say
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I met you on Saturday at the Motif Number 1 Day race. You were stopped
Oh,
at the end of
right.
Gott Street, and I told you where the race was. I didn't realize
Yeah.
you were. I told you how to not get stuck in the traffic.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, small town.
Yes, I know.
But anyway, so is that helpful?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I understand that. And I
Perfect.
want to thank all of you guys for actually putting it on the agenda today.
Oh,
I
of
re-
course. Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate
Thank you
that.
for coming. Thank you for coming.
It didn't sound like the Juneteenth Association had any inkling to take on that. Would it, if we put together a proposal for us as individuals to run a half an hour program, would that be appropriate? Or
I think if you kind of put your program into an email with who would,
Yeah.
who would be participating, and then emailed it to the same email
would be-
address that you sent everything to,
Right.
then we could review that,
Pretty-
right, Mitch?
All right.
yeah, I would think.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, we
almost-
can pretty quickly. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not, like I said, I reached out to them and they told me a little thing, and it doesn't seem like it would be longer than a half hour. So,
Sure, put something together.
yeah.
Okay,
Great. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
too. Thank you.
Great. Anyone else for public comment this evening? I forgot one other thing before we do our crazy executive session, and I can't believe I forgot this, but Saturday was the Motif Number 1 Day race, which hadn't happened in 3 years. They had over 500 runners. My kids tell me, I'm not sure, that part of it is a fundraiser for Ukraine, which I can't confirm that one way or another, but I will tell you that Erin Kniff, Darlene Trumbore, Paul's sister-in-law, and their team, knock it out of the park with this. And the kids, adults, just seeing, hundreds of kids run down the street with huge smiles on their faces is just such a win for this community. And I'm so happy that they were able to have it back, and it got people talking. And I know there are talks to bring the full Motif Number 1 Day event back next year. So that could be really cool.
That would be wonderful.
It'd be wonderful.
Miss it.
Yes.
I used to run that race.
Me too. But after seeing how fast my kids ran this year, I don't think I'll ever run it again. But all good. Okey doke. I think Denise has her re-entry to the board hazing
Dis-
next with having to do the motion for executive
For
session.
dissertation.
Fasten your seatbelts, everyone. I move that the board enter into executive session for the following. Mitch, next time, the font is like 8-point font. I gotta take my glasses off.
Sorry, we'll fix that for next time.
Executive session pursuant to GL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation regarding Back Beach Neighbors Committee versus Town of Rockport, United States District Court, CA number 1.20-CV-11274 NMG. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, votes may be taken, will not reconvene in public session. Executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation regarding Back Beach Neighbors Committee versus Town of Rockport Land Court, CA number 21 MISC 000174. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, votes may be taken, will not reconvene in public session. Executive session pursuant to GL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation regarding Back Beach Neighbors Committee versus Town of Rockport, Essex Superior Court, docket number 2177 CV 000364. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, votes may be taken, will not reconvene in public session. Executive session pursuant to GL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation regarding Stephen Abel versus Town of Rockport et al. MCAD docket number 22BEM 00744. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, votes may be taken, will not reconvene in public session. Executive session pursuant to GL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation regarding Glenn McLeod et al. Versus Town of Rockport et al. Essex Superior Court, docket number 2177 CV 00077. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, votes may be taken, will not reconvene in public session. Executive session pursuant to GL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation regarding Rousseau et al. Versus Town of Rockport, United States District Court, CA number 122 CV 10331 JGD. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, votes may be taken, will not reconvene in public session. Executive session pursuant to GL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining local 1679 AFC CME general and supervisors units. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body and the chair so declares, votes may be taken, will not reconvene in public session.
Say something, Denise.
What's that?
Second.
Hold on. Okay, motion has been made and seconded. By not entering into executive session, it would be detrimental to the town's litigating and bargaining positions. The board will not reconvene in open session. Great. Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote. Selectman Murphy,
Aye.
Selectman Lilia,
Aye.
Selectwoman Donnelly,
Aye.
Selectwoman Wilkinson. Aye.
Okay, at this time, the Board of Selectmen's meeting, the public portion of the meeting has ended. We ask that you please exit the meeting at this time.